We gather once a year with the elected representatives of the insular areas in order to address the issues of concern and try to coordinate the federal response to the needs of the American citizens who are in those territories. It's interesting that they are coming now in the midst of the sequester coming down potentially and in all likelihood at the end of the week. These are territories that rely very heavily on the relationship with the federal government. The governors and delegates from the territories are extraordinarily concerned about the impact that the non-discretionary cuts are going to have on their people. And what's unique about this forum is that we bring together key representatives of all the affected agencies and in essence provide one-stop shopping for the top delegates of the territories.
It's been a very good trip. Unfortunately, it's a very long trip coming from Guam, where we have basically a time zone comparison to Tokyo, Japan. So it's a long trip, but it's important to be here in Washington, D.C. So this is an opportunity under one roof to discuss the issues that are important to Guam and the other territories, not only to a representative of the president, but also of the agencies that have major impacts in the territory. There are the issues of sequestration and what those impacts are to the territories. And there's an old analogy that if there's a sneeze in the States, it'll be pneumonia in the territories, and that fact is also relevant for sequestration.
The territory of American Samoa has had a very unique political relationship with the United States that, in my opinion, probably 99% of the American people had no idea that this is how the relationship has existed for the last 113 years. So we've evolved in terms of our political development and reasons that we have to understand how the United States got involved in these insular areas in the Pacific as well as in the Caribbean. I think it's important we have to understand that sense of history. But when you have the president himself reestablishing this IGIA Council, as well as Ken Salazar, Secretary Salazar, for the last 4 years, he's been very attentive, he's been very helpful, and making sure that the Office of Insular Affairs plays an active role, as it is part of his responsibility, to see that the problems and the needs of the territories are met just like you would other states.
Energy is a big issue for us. Our cost of energy is 5 times the national average per kilowatt. And we're looking at another increase. And so that is one of the major issues and concerns of my territory, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and how we would address it. And IGIA the Interior and the White House did hold a special meeting yesterday just to talk about how we can create initiatives to lower the costs as we move towards reducing our reliance on fossil fuel, which our utility is doing. We're all working under some very challenging circumstances here right now when all of the agencies are facing cuts, but I feel that they're listening, and we will continue to work with them, following up on yesterday's meeting and today's meeting. As far as I was concerned, that was our opening part of our discussion. But we really have to find solutions, and that's going to take continuing to work with the agencies, and they seem willing to do that with us.
We have a challenge where you can't apply one solution or one program to every island, to every insular area, because they're all facing different challenges. So it's a matter of fine-tuning and tweaking our programs, our grant programs, our policies, to making sure that they can work with each unique set of challenges that each island and each governor or delegate is dealing with.
I think that they're going to go home with a message of collaboration and leveraging the resources that we have out there. I think we showed that there are a lot of resources in the federal family, and if we use them intelligently, if we think outside the box, if we look at grant programs that weren't necessarily in the forefront in the past, if we look at grant programs, loan programs, technical assistance, economic drivers all around the federal government, that we can address the problems that are common to the insular areas and make the most of the resources that there are out there.